Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting News22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
Tonight on News22, students on the NMSU campus are marching, demanding more diversity.
Cinemark tightens up on its outside bag policy.
And we bring you a flu season update.
All that and more on News22.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shelby Kapp.
And I'm Mike V. Hill. A 19-year-old NMSU student is suspected of raping a woman here on campus.
He is behind bars in the Doña County Jail, awaiting his next court date. Police say Paul Rene Martinez telephoned his ex-girlfriend on February 11th to meet him at the Pan American Center parking lot. He then convinced her to go to his room in Garcia Hall dormitory. That is where the alleged assault took place. Martinez is held without bond. He is charged with one count of third-degree criminal sexual penetration. A Las Cruces man is facing multiple counts of public indecency. Police say a 4-year-old boy saw Ricky Rivera masturbating on the balcony on Saturday. A woman was at the Pickwick store at 1770 South Telshore Boulevard when the boy saw Rivera and told his mom. The mother called the police. Rivera is charged with a 4th-degree felony count of aggravated indecent exposure and 3 misdemeanor counts of indecent exposure.
The former owner of a Las Cruces nightclub, Boots and Bourbon, has been indicted for threatening a friend of his ex-girlfriend with an AR-15 rifle. 32-year-old Robert Burnham was arrested and charged after allegedly pointing the gun after an argument at an East Mesa bar on January 14th. Witnesses say the rifle was loaded. After the incident, Boots and Bourbon nightclub closed and is looking for new ownership. Burnham is charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
A burglar is on the loose tonight after causing thousands of dollars worth of damage. A burglar or a team of burglars broke into Cholito's restaurant, stealing cash registers, beer, and destroying camera and surveillance equipment. Surveillance video shows a man wearing a gray short-sleeve hoodie and black gloves. Listening to the audio, there are possibly 2 voices, leading the manager to believe more than one person was inside. The manager saw the footage of the recent Red Hawk Golf Club burglary and says he sees some similarities between the incidents. The Las Cruces Police Department is investigating both incidents.
A former Las Cruces couple will be awarded nearly $1.5 million after settling a police brutality case from 2013. The city decided not to appeal the jury's decision to award the couple $1.6 million. It will instead pay roughly $1.5 million. Back in 2013, Jillian and Andrew Beck called police about a neighbor who was making noise. The officers got into an altercation with the Becks and slammed the wife's face into the ground. The costs were for punitive damages as well as $600,000 in other damages. Both officers involved in the incident are still working for LCPD.
It's been pretty chilly this week, but I'm hoping this weekend it gets a little warmer.
Selena Quintana has your first look at weather.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we're going to look at our current temperatures. Right now we have skies pretty cloudy with our temperature at 62 degrees. Winds coming in from the southwest at 15 miles per hour. Our humidity at 15%, dew point at 25, and our barometer at a steady 29.81 inches. Today we reached a high of 69 degrees. We should be at 66, but we woke up to an overnight low of 41. We set record temperatures in 1986 at 84 degrees and in 1977 at 23 degrees. It's been 10 days since we saw our last rainfall, so we still sit at 0.59 inches. That's all I have right now for weather. Back to the desk for more news.
Thank you, Selena. And there may be a light at the end of the tunnel for the deadly flu season.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't worry about the flu. Amanda Adame explains in today's Health Minute.
The grip of the flu season appears to be weakening. The CDC says for the first time this season, the number of people going to the doctor for flu-like symptoms is down. But the CDC cautions the flu is still widespread, with half of the country experiencing high activity. For the week ending February 17th, flu activity remained elevated in most states. 5 states, Connecticut, Hawaii, Iowa, Utah, and Wisconsin reported moderate activity of flu-like illnesses. 3 states, Florida, Idaho, and Washington, experienced low activity. 3 other states, Maine, Montana, and North Dakota, showed only minimal activity. But high activity of flu-like illness continues in the remaining 39 states from coast to coast. To protect yourself against the flu, get the flu shot. Try to avoid contact with sick people and wash your hands with soap and water often. Experts expect the flu season to continue through March. With tonight's Health Minute, I'm Amanda Adame.
A New Mexico woman is fighting for her life after being diagnosed with the hantavirus infection.
The CDC says people can become infected after contact with rodents or their urine droppings. Jenny Nguyen has more.
A month ago, she was going to go to Costa Rica with a bunch of girlfriends and enjoy a fun week, and now she can't even go do anything on her own.
Julie Barron says it's hard to watch as her daughter Kylie Lane struggles to recover. Kylie suddenly got sick last month.
She is in the ICU unit over here at UNM and the hospital because she has the hantavirus.
It's a potentially fatal virus spread through contact with infected rodent urine or droppings. Barron has no idea how her 27-year-old could have contracted it.
We don't know. We wish we did, but that's the concern.
Barron says a family friend created this You Caring fundraising page to help. Generous strangers have donated more than $23,000 so far.
That coming in really is what it says. It's people caring.
But Barron says she also wants to use the page as a platform to help raise awareness of the potentially deadly disease. The family has faith that Kylie will pull through thanks to the ECMO machine. The device is new to the state, and UNMH is the only hospital with it. Doctors at UNMH say it can essentially bring people back to life by circulating blood through their body.
It does save lives, and it's going to save Kylie's life, and I feel very confident that if she hadn't gotten on this machine, that we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it.
Now, all the family can do is wait for the day they say,
"Let's go home."
To Kylie. Jeannie Nguyen, KRQE News 13.
And Barron says the money collected through the You Caring page will most likely go toward medical expenses. And the future looks bright for Las Cruces public school students after the release of recent graduation rates. Las Cruces public schools recorded a graduation rate of 85%. That's the highest of any major district in the state for 2017. It also beats the 2016 national average of 84%. New Mexico's overall rate for 2017 was 71%.
One thing graduates can do is join the Peace Corps. And all this week, the NMSU campus is hosting a special Peace Corps week. This afternoon, they had a meet and greet to kick off the new Peace Corps Prep program. It's a certificate program that prepares undergraduate students for international development, fieldwork, and potential Peace Corps service.
We also have had a real variety of students who've been interested, whether it's biology or civil engineering or what else, agriculture, really interesting students.
If you have any questions, you can ask the Peace Corps representatives here on campus.
And stay tuned, Selena will be back with your national forecast.
But first, coming up, we will show you how businesses are tightening up their security. More on that when News 22 continues.
I'm Nora Michaud, Program Manager for KRWG. Sewing with Nancy continues the tradition of bringing the best in contemporary sewing, quilting, and home decorating ideas to public television viewers. Join Nancy Zeman and her guests as they share the love of the sewing arts by exploring the latest ideas in one of the country's most popular crafts. Tune in Wednesdays at 2:30 p.m. as we sew together some new ideas. For more programming information, visit krwg.org.
The KRWG-TV public file is available to the public at 2915 McPhee Circle, Milton Hall, room 117, on the campus of New Mexico State University. Regular business hours are from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Files are also available online at stations.fcc.gov.
And welcome back. You're watching News 22 Tuesday,
where news matters. NMSU is becoming a more diverse campus, but some groups on campus say it's not going fast enough. Early this afternoon, members of the Black Student Association sponsored a march from the Corbett Student Union to the office of the NMSU Chancellor. They say that the university is not taking a leadership role in bringing more diversity to campus.
I feel like that diversity is everybody's business, and that being able to have a university of rich history should include everyone's history, and not just post-colonization, but pre-colonization as well.
We ask that they go through Garcia Center. We ask that they go through Breland Hall.
They say that the university should have more classes that cover the diverse populations here on campus.
NMSU criminal justice students are hosting a gun control forum on Thursday. The forum will be a local opportunity to discuss the national gun control issue. It's held in Guthrie Hall in room 100. NMSU Chief of Police Stephen Lopez will also be on hand to discuss the issue. And after recent shootings, businesses are tightening up security.
Cinemark theaters around the U.S. and here locally have made a new rule about what size bags you can enter into the theater with. And I went there to get the story. These moviegoers are having to get used to a new rule. Now when you head to the movies, your bag must be 12 inches by 12 inches. If it is larger, it will not be permitted into the theater. According to Cinemark, this rule is to enhance safety and security to moviegoers and movie theater employees. With the exception of medical equipment and diaper bags, these items will be allowed inside regardless of size. Some moviegoers don't expect the rule to make theaters any safer.
The only thing that's going to stop them, metal detectors and arm guards. That's the only way you're going to stop anything.
To get an idea of what size bags you will be allowed to take inside, this large blue bag that I have right here would not be allowed to go inside. However, the smaller 12 by 12 bag would. Something the smaller bags may reduce is the chance of people sneaking in candy and food.
You're sneaking in candy, like, how much candy do you need? You know, like, it's not that hard, and like, you don't need a big bag to bring to the movie theater. Like, you're sitting down and watching a movie. Like, there's no reason to have so much stuff in your bag, you know?
The new policy has been in effect since February 22nd. Next time you head to the movies, remember to measure your bag before you go.
As far as we know, Allen Theaters here in Las Cruces have not adopted this rule, but they are allowed to check bags if they feel necessary. All of Las Cruces is proud of the downtown farmers market. It's one of the best places to go on a Saturday morning.
And one of the most popular stops in the market is the Kettle Corn Guy. News 22's Marlene Barraza gets in line for a tasty snack.
It starts with the kernels and some sugar, a little bit of stirring, and you have Southwest kettle corn. When Brian Peterson and his wife relocated from Seattle, Washington to Las Cruces, they thought something was missing in town. So 17 years ago, they chose a second job, kettle corn. But it wasn't so sweet to start with.
It wasn't very popular at the time, and I think it took some time for some inertia, for some people to understand what the product is. It took some time to kind of get cracking.
And get cracking they did. It's become a profitable business, but he says it's about more than money. It's about a connection.
And it's very personal to us. It's meaningful to us. It's important to us. And how they are and how they feel and how their life is going. This is what we're all about.
Every batch of kettle corn is made the same way, so people know exactly what they're getting.
The regular for the regular, that's right. That's right.
Randall Curley has been coming back since he moved to Las Cruces 5 years ago.
And I know some people have been talking about it. They've been coming here every weekend, and they see him every weekend. They've been here ever since he started.
And customers have taken kettle corn all over the world. Brian has a map to prove it.
Southwest Kettle Corn has not only been in Las Cruces, they have also been to many other places such as Madrid, Manila, and Nigeria. The only continent missing? Antarctica.
Now people have it as part of, some sort of notoriety. They want to be the one to pin something on the map, so they'll take it with them or they'll ship it to friends and family.
Marilyn Thomas wants to take some back home to Michigan, but she doesn't think it'll get there.
Yeah, probably for the ride home. It's not going to make it home to the kids.
But she can still come back anytime. because every Saturday, Brian the kettle corn guy will be here.
It's a wonderful way to spend a Saturday. If I wasn't here, I'm not sure what I would do with my weekend. And hopefully, you know, my kids will take over for me so that someday I can sleep in on a Saturday. But for now, this is a good place to be.
Popping corn, one kernel at a time. Marlene Barraza, News 22.
So I guess we'll have good weather to go get kettle corn this weekend.
Yeah, I'm hungry after watching that one.
But the rest of the country, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and Selena is next for the weather.gov national forecast.
Thanks, guys. Right now, we're going to take a look around our nation. Up in Seattle at a cool 45 degrees with some rain and snow mix. Sacramento with some rain and sunshine at 57 degrees. Los Angeles at 60 degrees. Taos, New Mexico at a cool 23 degrees. And I'll go ahead on the other side. We have Tampa at a warm 85, warmest in the nation right now. So if we go ahead and take a look at our next map, you can definitely see this low pressure system sitting above Los Angeles, and what it's going to do is it's going to be moving east, and it's going to be going over Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. What it's doing is bringing in colder temperatures and moisture from the northern Pacific, bringing it down and pulling it our way. And that's going to be dropping temperatures here in Las Cruces and giving us some possible rain chances. I'll have more information on that after the break.
Fresh Air with Terry Gross, weekday mornings at 11 on 90.7 FM and streaming live on KRWG.org.
Baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away.
Saturday at 10:30 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
It's you I like. Hi, I'm Michael Keaton. Come to the Mr. Rogers neighborhood and celebrate the programs that have inspired more than 4 generations of children and parents.
Oh, I love this. Is the one where you blow really, really hard.
It's really magic. It's so far beyond just entertainment.
Well-known friends share their heartfelt memories on Mr. Rogers, It's You I Like.
Saturday morning at 8:30 on KRWG-TV.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at temperatures around New Mexico right now. Farmington at 48 degrees, Santa Fe at 45, Clovis at 60, Ruidoso at 47, Roswell at 61, here in Las Cruces 62, and Deming at 58. Now tomorrow it is going to cool down a bit because of that cold front that I was talking about coming in from that low pressure system. Now we're going to be dropping here in all of New Mexico, Farmington at 50 degrees, the high for tomorrow, Albuquerque 47, Clovis at 58, Ruidoso at 41, here in Las Cruces at 56, and Deming at 51. Taking a look at places closer to Las Cruces, tonight we're going to have some partly cloudy skies with a low of 42 degrees. Tomorrow they're going to have some scattered showers with a high of 54 degrees. In Truth or Consequences, they're going to have some partly cloudy skies with a low of 39 degrees. Some showers as well with a high of 55 for tomorrow. Silver City, some cloudy skies as well with a low of 32 degrees. Tomorrow a high of 42. And here in Las Cruces, we're going to have some windy weather tomorrow at 54 degrees, but tonight will be pretty cloudy and pretty calm at 39 degrees. That's all I have right now. Now back to the desk for more news.
An infant in Houston is in critical condition after being struck by a car.
That's the first story in tonight's Southwest Minute.
Police say the child's parents were pushing the stroller across the street in downtown Austin. Investigators say the driver had a green light and the parents were crossing the street against the signal. Alcohol does not appear to be a factor in the incident. Investigators in Phoenix have arrested a man who reportedly threatened to go on a shooting rampage in his church. They say Ismail Damon was apprehended just before walking into church on Sunday. Investigators say they were alerted by an anonymous tip that Damien planned to shoot up the North Valley Romanian Pentecostal Church. The Maricopa County Sheriff says the tip probably saved lives. Texas state troopers arrested a man who reportedly held a gun on a hotel balcony in downtown Austin. They say the man was on the balcony at the DoubleTree Hotel. Negotiators convinced him to come down without the weapon. That's when troopers swarmed in and arrested him. There are no reports of injuries. I'm Jackie Loera with the Southwest Minute.
A couple big wins for Aggie sports over the weekend.
And I hear we're saying goodbye to a couple of seniors.
And here to catch us up on all that is Faith Shafani with sports.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, the NMSU baseball team set a big record. Don't lose faith because News 22 Sports is next.
We are announcing the indictment of Abacus, a federally chartered bank that has been catering to the Chinese immigrant community since 1984.
That we are part of the cause of financial crisis. Almost laughable.
In Abacus's loan department, mortgages were based upon false documentation.
Too big to fail turns into small enough to jail, and Abacus is small enough to jail.
It's our father's legacy, and he's passed that legacy on to us.
Wednesday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
In the depths of winter, even the most frozen wilderness can teem with life.
These are creatures that are specially adapted and have evolved to live in the snowiest, coldest places on Earth.
Meet the ultimate snow survivors.
This coat is perfect for these conditions.
They take winter head-on and thrive.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Faith Shafani, and let's talk sports. The Aggies are WAC champs after dominating UMKC 82-53. The men's basketball team got off to a quick start Saturday night, knocking down back-to-back shots. At half, the Aggies were up 33-18, and UMKC just couldn't keep up. Senior Jamario Jones led the team with 15 points and 23 rebounds. The Aggies will wrap up season play next Saturday as they take on UT Rio Grande Valley. And on March 8th, NM State will defend their championship title at the WAC tournament. And the Aggie women's basketball team is coming home for their last game of the regular season. The women defeated UMKC 76-67 on Saturday. Their last game will be this Saturday at home against UT Rio Grande Valley at 2. The team will be honoring their two seniors, Jasmine Cooper and Zaire Williams. And the NMSU baseball team now holds a school and a WAC record after an incredible 3-game series last weekend. The Aggies dominated Mississippi Valley Friday night with a 39-0 shutout. This is the largest margin of victory that NMSU and the WAC have ever seen. The Aggies won the last 2 games of the series 15-4 and 20-0. Pitcher Kyle Bradish and outfielder Noah Hoped were recognized as WAC Pitcher of the Week and WAC Hitter of the Week, respectively. The Aggies are in Tucson to play the Arizona Wildcats tonight. And the Aggie softball team is coming off a successful weekend. They played in the UTEP tournament and won 4 out of 5 of their games. They beat Idaho State 3 times and Portland State once. The ladies are playing in a doubleheader at Texas Tech today. They lost the first game 7-4. And the NMSU swimming and diving team placed second in the WAC championship. Over the 4 days, the Aggies climbed from 5th to 2nd place. Hannah McGowan helped the team with her big first-place win in the 200-yard breaststroke. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Selena will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, an exotic bird steals a news anchor's spotlight. Find out how when News 22 returns.
What does the future hold?
It's just basically a question of math, right?
Statistics and big data are changing our world.
It's the best crystal ball that humankind can have.
Prediction by the numbers on Nova.
Wednesday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away.
Saturday at 10:30 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at our top stories. An NMSU student is under arrest after allegations of sexual assault on campus. Cinemark theaters are tightening security after recent shootings, and NMSU students marched on campus today in support of more diversity.
A California news station was in for a surprise while having some exotic animals in the studio. An exotic bird swooped in and stole the show by perching on top of a news anchor's head. KFMB's anchor Michelle Medina was teasing for an upcoming segment on the San Diego Zoo, and that's when the bird, named Sophie, decided to swoop in and steal the show. Sophie is a 10-year-old and is a resident at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, and apparently she isn't camera shy.
What's funny?
You think we could talk them into letting us get some animals in here?
I know, huh? I don't know. Wildlife.
What are the next 5 days looking like, Selena?
Well, it's gonna be getting pretty warm, but before it gets warm, we're gonna get pretty cold tomorrow, and it's gonna feel even colder than 54 degrees because it's gonna be windy, and we might have that chance of rain. But we're gonna warm up into the weekend, so this weekend we can definitely dress comfortably, walk out without needing a jacket or even sweating, so it's gonna be really nice.
It's been windy the past couple of days, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty windy.
And don't forget, you can catch all today's aired stories and our past newscasts on our YouTube page at youtube.com/KRWG News22.
And follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat for show updates and the latest on what the News22 team is up to.
And that's all for News22 Tuesday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Tune in tomorrow night as we take a look at the news across from the Southwest. I'm Mike Vigil.
I'm Shelby Cap.
And I'm Selena Quintana.
Have a good night.
This news brief en español is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Los saluda con mucho gusto Raquel López en este breve informativo de Noticias 22. La policía de Las Cruces arrestó a un hombre sospechoso de exponerse y masturbarse a la vista de un infante el sábado. Ricky Rivera, de 45 años, es acusado de un delito de 4º grado de exposición en público y 3 cargos menores de exposición indecente. Los investigadores se enteraron de que una mujer y su hijo de 4 años se encontraban en la tienda Pick Quick en Telshire Boulevard, cuando el niño vio cómo Rivera se exponía en un balcón de su apartamento. El niño alertó a su madre sobre el comportamiento de Rivera. El oficial que respondió llegó a tiempo para presenciar el comportamiento de Rivera. Rivera fue ingresado en el centro de detención del condado de Doña Ana y salió después de pagar la fianza. El jueves por la mañana, 3 estudiantes tuvieron audiencias en la corte ya que son acusados de portar armas de fuego en terreno escolar. Los estudiantes de la preparatoria de Albuquerque fueron detenidos después de que compañeros de la escuela vieron que el pasajero de auto sacudía una pistola fuera de la ventana. Los oficiales encontraron un rifle en la cajuela y una pistola en la guantera. El Estado plantea que los sospechosos son demasiado peligrosos para ser puestos en libertad. Para Noticias 22, Raquel López.
Local support for a portion of today's programming is provided by Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting News 22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.